A 46-year-old man who allegedly chased down and fatally stabbed his estranged wife.
Michael Rodney Kane was arrested on suspicion of stabbing his estranged wife to death in the middle of a residential neighborhood in West Hills.
You believe God is the one.
Hey everyone, so today is going to be a little different video. So today's video is going to be a story time, and the reason why I am kind of speechless right now is because this was a huge thing, and I was young enough that I didn't really I don't know, care. It sounds bad, but you know, when you're young, you don't really care about adult stuff. You don't really see problems and everything. So when I remembered this story, it actually freaked me out so bad. Just 3rd grade, elementary school, I went to Nestle in Tarzana. My teacher was Miss Menjivar, I think it was Miss Menjivar. Since I had new friends and I was kind of hanging out with more people, I would be very, very, very talkative. So my 3rd grade teacher sent me to another classroom, and I had never been to this classroom. I wasn't really familiar with all the teachers like some kids are. Some kids know all the teachers, they know all their names, they know how they act, they know this and that. But I would I don't know, I wouldn't really care about other teachers. So I had no idea who this teacher was. She just told me a room number and I looked for her and I went. So I go up to this classroom, and immediately it's so noisy. It's way more talkative than my class. And I remember they were doing a project. They had to cut out butterflies or something and color it. So the teacher gave the butterfly project to me too and just told me to do what they were doing. So I'm right here. There's a desk going this way, and then there's a desk right here. So the boy is sitting right here, and I'm sitting right here at this desk, talking at the corner. And then the teacher's desk is right here. I'm sitting here, teacher's desk is right here. So we're talking or whatever, and then the teacher, it's so weird that I remember this, and then reading, oh my god, okay, I'll get into that stuff later. But anyway, I remember him walking from the back of where the door is up to the front of his desk, and then walking to the front of the classroom where the board was, and then walking back to his desk. And when I was doing my the project or whatever, he was talking to the kids and making jokes, and the whole class was talking and laughing and being loud, and he was just trying to be a cool teacher. This teacher was a part of the class, he was their friends or something, and I was just what is going on? I mean, that's not a bad thing at all. It's just because he was acting so weird. This is probably just how the kids are, oh, he's just goofy, he's funny, and he does all this and that. And I just remember him oh my god, it's it sounds okay, it sounds it's from a movie or something. It's not even real. It's so weird. So I remember him just going that, literally looking at me like this, and dangling his hand and be and walking around and be or whatever he said. Obviously I wouldn't remember what he said, but I remember him making jokes and trying to be funny or whatever, and he was just he sounded drowsy, but obviously as a kid I never would have even thought of I don't know, was drowsy, looked drunk, you know. I just thought maybe he was just one of those weird teachers that just let their class do whatever. And I mean, I wish that was my teacher, but he was weird. Like, he would walk around like drunk. And I mean, like, that can also be like, oh yeah, I'm just like making a joke, you know. I'm just like, I don't know how to describe it. He is so weird, and he was just, you know, he was trying to make jokes at the same time as him, like, lousily, like, stumbling with, like, one foot and, like, you know, trying to make jokes. So it kind of just looked like it was a part of, like, his act or whatever. The lunch bell rang, and then I went to lunch, and then I went back to my class, and that was the only interaction I had with him. School ends, right? I go through the whole school year. I forget about this teacher or whatever. Haven't seen him since. My teacher sent me to his class. Don't really care about him. I don't care about other teachers, you know? So, it's summer now. For the summer, I was staying at my dad's house. I remember playing with my little sisters, and then my grandma tells my dad and me to, like, run in her room and see what's on TV. And so I just remember sitting on her bed. I remember this so vividly. It's scary. I was sitting on her bed. They start talking about Nestle. And I was like, oh, I go there. Like, that's my school. I was like, oh, what is this about? And I wasn't, like, saying anything. I was just kind of sitting on the bed, minding to myself. So I run in the room, go on her bed, and my dad is kind of standing in the door. And I remember it saying, Nestle teacher accused of stabbing wife in Hills, something, 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 in the street, friend's house, blah, 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 something, 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 restraining order, something, something, something. And I was just like, that's my school, I knew him, I saw him, I knew that teacher. And I was just going on and on about, like, how I knew someone that was on the news. But I don't really think I was paying attention to the fact that it said that he was a murderer. I think I was just so amazed that I knew someone that was on the news. Even though it was for a bad reason, I guess my little brain didn't really, like, comprehend that. So, yeah. And so then my grandma was like, oh, you shouldn't be hearing this is so sad, or whatever. And then my dad was like, yeah, Sadie, don't listen to this. Then I just kind of went out of the room. I watched the whole thing, though. So, yeah. Then I just went on with my day and my life. And I just completely forgot about the fact that a teacher I knew stabbed his wife, you know? Apparently, he had some mental problems, and he wasn't taking medication for it, and he had undiagnosed bipolar disorder. And then I go back, I tap into that memory of being in that classroom, and just remembering the environment, and how he treated the class, and how he was acting weird, and all of these things, and it all makes sense. It all clicks together, it all makes sense. And he had diagnosed mental disorders, and he wasn't taking pills for it. And the school probably knew this, and he was still able to be a teacher. Like, what if he had hurt a student? What if he had said something he shouldn't have to a student, you know? It's just crazy to me that he got away with being a teacher. The actual story is that him and his wife were going through a divorce. And I guess he was really mad about this. They were sharing child custody. His wife said and had reported that he had made threats that he was going to kill her, that if she left him, that it would only make her feel better, but he was going to kill her, he was going to hurt her. So she made a temporary restraining order on him. But since they shared child custody, it didn't stop him from keeping in contact with her. She hid away at a friend's house. She slept over there. And he found her there somehow. That was a mystery how he found her there. So he found her there, chased her down in the middle of the street, and stabbed her to death. I guess her friend called 911 and she was pronounced dead at the scene. And he got away at a hotel in Yakima something. And then he didn't even, when they broke down his door, his motel door, it was a motel. When they broke down his motel door, he didn't even fuss, didn't even talk. He just gave in to being arrested because he knew that he was guilty. Still in jail. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the story time, even though it wasn't that interesting. It's still crazy to me. Like, I met a man that, not even 2 months later, killed his wife. Stabbed his wife to death. So, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, so bye.